Arn, we know that your love for Bobby Eaton runs deep to this day. He was an amazing human being, as you've outlined, as well as a wrestler. And our next topic illustrates the kind of businessman that Bobby Eaton was. Eaton would lose the television title on the June 1st recording of Worldwide to someone who I guess we would say did okay in the business, and someone you know rather well. His name's Stone Cold Steve Austin. We knew him back then as Stunning Steve Austin. He was one of the hottest young talent in all of wrestling, and someone at WCW that they thought obviously very highly of as well, because 3 weeks after Bobby beat you, Steve would defeat Bobby for that television title. And it was due to some interference, thanks to Lady Blossom. That's Steve's real life first wife. Arn, we know how highly you regard Steve Austin from your time running the roads together and the comments that you've made here on this show. And of course, later this year, the three of you will all be members of the Dangerous Alliance. And that brings us to a fan question that I want to get into. Drew Landry wants to know what your impressions that you had of Steve Austin from the get-go. Was it clear to you that he had that it factor on?
I put Steve, when I first started seeing him work, and I put him in the Ivan Koloff class. Those of us that know Ivan Koloff and really was around when he was working and could be in arenas and watch him work house shows, he's a machine. He's an animal. He never quit coming forward. And if you're working with him, same with Steve, if you were going to, have a competitive match with Steve, you better be prepared to fight him and meet him halfway, because he was just going to keep coming, and he was a machine as well. And it was until you gave him a reason to sell for you, brother, he was all about getting himself over and offense. And in those days, that's how a heel got over, is, man, you were just, even though you might get out wrestled or out flanked or out punched, man, you just kept coming. You were looking for one opening. And if you could find one opening, you were going to kick the door down. And that was what Austin was exemplifying already. You could see it just, and, he was a cardio machine. Having a big gas tank in those days was really obvious. His pace was really fast. So you better be in shape if you're going to work, 15 minutes with Austin, because, man, he was a go-getter.